Okay, little update. It's now Monday morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, the markets haven't done a whole lot, but have moved down. This is the Nasdaq 1 minute micro E-mini futures chart. Um, it's a little off its highs. Looking at the 1 minute chart, it looks like there's been a major downtrend here. And I even thought about it. I glanced at the chart and I said, "Wow, when it was when that red bar, we had that big red bar. I said, well, maybe I'll buy a contract." But uh, then I looked at the 15-minute chart and wow, you get a whole different perspective. That's the 15-minute Nasdaq 15-minute chart. That's why it's so important to look at different time frames. Now, my my platform, at least I haven't figured out how to use other time frames other than 1 minute and 15-minute. But for my purposes, for my trading, that's pretty much what I need. I mean, for the day trading, this is what I need, the 1 minute and 15-minute charts. For swing trading, it'd be nice to have, you know, some charts that go back a little further. But I can always pull it up on other platforms. It's just this particular platform just offers the 1 and 15-minute time frame. So anyway, so looking at the 15-minute, it looks like we've got a nice little top forming there. That has formed, and if anything, it looks like we're due for a little rollover. It looks like it's rolling over, and that we may get a little pullback. Um, so, so it's kind of hard to look at the 1 minute, knowing what's on the 15-minute chart, and thinking that this is a opportunity to add to my shares. I have so little right now that adding wouldn't be a bad idea, but I would hate to add right before we get a big correction here. And if this moves down, takes back half the recent gains, then I feel like I added a contract close to the top. So I don't want to do that, particularly this time of night. If I go over to the Dow, this is the Dow 15-minute. Again, this is the Dow 1 minute. And you can see it looks like it's pulled back quite a bit. But then when you look at the 15-minute, it just kind of looks like a top that's starting to roll over. Similar type pattern. So my thought is I'll continue to hold. If I'm wrong, if we don't get a pullback, I have a contract in the Dow. I have a contract in the S&P 500. I have a contract in the Russell 2000, and I have two contracts in the Nasdaq. So if I'm wrong, I can still make a decent amount of money. I'm not going to break the bank, but I'll make money. If I'm right and we do pull over, if we pull over hard, well, I'm going to lose what I've gained, but that's okay because, like I said, I'm way under invested, and if we pull back, I'll load up, I'll add. I won't get ridiculous, but I'll add a little bit, try to make a little bit more money when we go back up. This market is like playing around a alligator infested pond. Um, you you may have a lot of fun playing in the pond, but you always have to be aware of a potential alligator coming after you. And if you're all in the pond and suddenly you're surrounded by alligators, you're not going to make it out of the pond in one piece. It's just very unlikely. You're gonna be broken up. You're gonna not be feeling so hot when you get out of that pond. But you know, if you're aware of the alligators and you're careful, you can have a good time in the pond, and you can survive. You can survive. So it's all about survival. These charts look innocent enough, but I tell you, when you try something foolish, you go in there and you buy. You think, oh, this is easy stuff. We get a little pullback, and you say, well, shoot, I'll just buy 10 contracts and see what happens. Yeah. You could get lucky. But if it goes against you, boy, you sure lose money quickly. And after hours, the volume, the stock volume, the trading volume is very low. So a lot of these prices are controlled by market makers. I don't really know what's behind the scenes. When you place a trade, it's almost like someone instantly knows what you did. I mean, obviously, you're going through an exchange. They see the trade, and the trade, it's like it almost automatically goes against you. So you just have to be careful. I mean, like I said, the volume. This is the volume during normal trading hours, and compare that to after hours. There's hardly any volume at all. You can't even see the volume chart. It's so minuscule. It's not always like that. Sometimes there's some activity in the after hours. Sometimes there's significant activity, especially when there's a lot of volatility in the market. But tonight, there's not much going on. The market looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. Maybe it will. Tomorrow, the market's technically closed. The futures, again, will be open until 1 p.m. However, with the regular market closed, the volume will probably remain low until Tuesday, or at least until Monday night. Maybe it'll start picking up Monday night. So I don't think much is going to happen tonight. Thinking more likely we'll have a pullback than any major move higher. I was surprised that we opened higher, and I'm okay with that. And with my current holdings, I'm okay either way. If we go into an uptrend, I'm going to make some money. If we pull back, it may be an opportunity for me to add to my contracts. The key is to know when to get in. I wanna add so that I can have something to trade with. I kind of, the contracts that I have now, that's kind of what I want as my bare minimum. I mean, you can't get much lower than having one contract of a micro E-mini futures sector. So I'd like to have more contracts. So I guess if I'm pulling for anything, it would be for a pullback. Now, if I was sure about it, I would sell the contracts that I do have, take the profit, and then just wait for the pullback. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure which direction this is going to go in. I wish I were. I think it's more likely it's going to go down than up, but this has been a relentless stock market. It's just gone up and away, and so I really don't know what to expect. But my thoughts are that it's more likely to go down than up right now. So I'm not going to be disappointed if it goes down. And then my biggest concern is when is the best time for me to buy more contracts, because then I would do a lot more trading. Then I'd have more than just the minimum amount of contracts, and I could do some trading. Just have to be careful because I don't want to get in a situation where I buy a few more contracts and then we really tank. And then the dilemma is, well, now I'm starting to lose a significant amount of money and maybe we're at another bottom. Maybe I'll buy more contracts lower and then we go down even more and we just keep tanking and tanking, and then I'm really losing some money, and then I'm having to think, well, maybe I should back off and cut my losses and just get out and try to get back in when it gets lower. Then you get out and then, whoo, market shoots up to the sky. It's just that these things happen. The market can really take you for a ride. So I'm going to be very careful with my purchases. And if we get a big pullback and I get the feeling that we are pulled back way more than we should have, to me that's the time to add a little bit. Add a little bit there. And then, in the long run, I'm a bull. That's why I kind of like having several contracts just for the long run. Certainly working now, but when we get into a bear market, I don't say if, when we get into a bear market, you don't feel so smart having long positions. You start losing money every day rather than gaining money. But man, it's hard to even imagine a bear market right now. Market's been so bullish for so long. It's just hard to imagine. There's got to be a lot of folks with a lot of money short this market, waiting for it to go down, and market just won't do it. Just keeps going higher. And of course, they're printing all this free money. Got trillions of dollars going into the market, so that's helped boosting it up, keeping it boosted, but keeping the market higher, going higher, or at least keeping it from tanking. And but if history means anything at all, this market will fall at some point. It's just a matter of when. And and how much exposure you have will determine how much of a hit you're going to take. So, like I said, I'm way too heavy in cash right now, but that's because the market's going up. If the market tanks, I'll be happy that I'm heavy into cash. And I have enough long positions in things like mutual funds and some long-term stock holdings that I have that, I'm okay if the market just keeps going higher and higher and I'm sitting on cash, because I have ways of putting the cash to work over time. One thing I do is put money into whole life mutual policy, which to me is a cash equivalent. It earns interest, though, at a better rate than putting your cash into a bank account and a savings account. And it's got some benefits to it. It's you take out tax-free loans that are rates are comparable to what you're making on the amount that you put in the policy, and what the amount of money that you put in the policy, you always get credit for as long as your policy you know is funded, as long as you're paying your premium yearly. And so you're actually borrowing from the insurance company and not from yourself. Your money stays in that account, and then when you take out loans, you're borrowing from the insurance company that from which you purchased your policy. And the insurance company uses your death benefit as collateral. So that's one thing I do with money that I'm sitting on. And then when that opportunity comes, when you have that recession where houses just plummet in price and you have an opportunity to buy real estate at a low price, you take out a loan, you purchase some houses, you fix them up, and you rent them out. And right now, I have several rental properties that I purchased. I didn't purchase them at the bottom, but they were certainly near the bottom when I purchased them, and they've only gone up. They've only gone up in value since I've purchased them. They've gone up quite a bit, and I've been making rental money all that time, while they've been just kind of gradually going up in value. So having access to cash is good when the bad times hit. Okay, that's my update for this is now Monday, February the 15th. It's right around 2:15 a.m. Was considering a trade, but I'm going to hold off, wait for a little more significant pullback. Okay, see ya.